Hello and welcome back to the Elite Takeover Podcast, where today we're going to be looking at NXT from the 21st of October. Now, just a few side notes before we get going. NXT probably isn't our go-to product per se. Mm-hmm. It's more of a, I keep up with what's going on with it and we watch the takeovers together. Raph isn't really an NXT person.
No, I know the girls, the women's division more than the men's.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. I follow the women's more than the men's.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes with this, but we're going to be learning more NXT stuff as we go, obviously. But the more you watch it, the more you learn. But I know a lot. I know I should know enough to keep us going. But we will be getting going with NXT today. But before we do that, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to give us a subscribe, a like, a comment. If you're listening on any of the major podcast apps that we're on, Apple, Spotify, Google, whatever, give us a review. Download, subscribe, it would be absolutely amazing. We'd appreciate it, and you can join the takeover. But let's get going with NXT from last night. Starting off with Kushida versus Ciampa versus Dream. So we start with Kushida in the middle of the ring waiting for the match to start. Dream starts to make his entrance. Ciampa jumps in from behind, and pretty much the beginning of this match is very much Ciampa is on top. Ciampa keeps getting on top, and then Dream kind of gets in the way almost. Is kind of how it kind of ends up going. Dream would kind of get in the way of Kushida and Ciampa doing something, and then they'd both beat up on Dream for a bit, and then Kushida and Ciampa would get back to it. Dream again. It's kind of how the beginning of this match kind of went. Ciampa looked it was a really good match. It was a really fun match. Yeah. All these guys are very talented individuals. Mm-hmm. It's good to see Kushida getting the spotlight that he kind of deserves. He's very good. You like Kushida.
I've seen him a couple of times and everything. I always like him when he's on. Yeah, he's
really good. There was a lot of nice double team spots. There was one point where Kushida and Dream got thrown into the corner, and Ciampa was just chopping one at a time, just going back and forth,
running side to side.
One point where Ciampa was trying to do the Willow's Bell DDT to Kushida, and Ciampa and Dream was hugging on to Kushida from the outside to stop the DDT, which then just ends though with both of them taking the DDT.
The double DDT, yeah.
Some very nice stuff. Kushida managing to do a hip toss into the armbar, and then Dream getting the purple Rainmaker to prevent the pinfall from happening. Kushida does all of the dives, and then gets caught into a Willow's Bell. Ciampa goes for the fairy tale ending, but Dream super kicks it to stop. And the end of the match is brought about by Ciampa kind of goes for a roll up, and he gets kicked out by Kushida, and then Ciampa ends up getting thrown towards the ropes when he kicks out of the roll up, and he gets hit by the cast, which is on Velveteen Dream's arm. I can't say it apparently, and that knocks out Ciampa, and Kushida hits a German suplex for the win. Really good match. Good to see Kushida get the win and move Kushida on from this and let him do something else, which would be nice. Kushida versus Priest would be fun, moving to the North American title scene maybe. It seems like Ciampa and Dream are going to keep on going for a little bit, which is fine. I don't really, Dream, not for me. Not for me. He shouldn't really be there, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, as long as Ciampa keeps coming out on top, it's all good.
Yeah, but Ciampa kind of feels like a bit of a lost.
Yeah,
he feels lost at the moment, and it's difficult because obviously you want to push new people, but him and Gargano, the people from that kind of era of NXT, they've been there for such a long time. It feels like they're kind of floating now.
Yeah,
and they're not gonna. Well, at least Ciampa definitely won't be going to the main roster, at least no time soon, because of his injuries, and he wouldn't be able to last on a full-time schedule.
Yeah.
So, Gargano could do, but they won't use Gargano. I don't think they have any interest in having Gargano. But, it kind of leaves them in an awkward place in NXT, because you can't have them as always the main eventers.
Yeah, exactly. But they are main event material.
But it feels like they should be, because they are that quality of guys.
Yeah.
And NXT puts so much stock into them as people. So it's a bit odd, but
we'll see.
It's good for Kushida to become a big victory. Keep on pushing Kushida. We go backstage with kind of our overarching story of the night. The Undisputed Era having a little chat backstage. I have Cole on a video camera on an iPad.
It's funny, like on a Zoom call.
Yeah. But the rest of them all stand around. Essentially, Cole's still not cleared to be there, so he's not there tonight. He's hyping the tag title match. Everyone kind of gets their little line. Kyle talks about the Golden Prophecy having doubters back in the day, and because they're kind of teasing the idea they might do it again. Fish says the Brizango stands no chance, and Roddy says the titles are coming home to the Rod and the Fish Express choo-choo. Why has everyone got to have something to do with trains? There's always trains. But yeah, it's
Trains
silly.
are not even that nice.
But yeah, this was just a little bit of a setup for what's going to be going on during the night. 2 nights. We come back and the commentators, Stu and Vic, they're going to have a Halloween costume off next week.
Oh, God.
Woo. Super excited. Halloween Havoc's going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, I'm excited.
It's going to be silly and fun, hopefully. It should, yeah. We get a Rio and Raquel video package, which was really good. It made it feel like a big match. And like it's been building for quite a long time. This like these two big behemoths of the women's division of NXT finally coming face to face. It should be a lot of fun. And, yeah,
They were really cool. And I love Rhea. I haven't seen Raquel wrestle, I think. Have I?
you probably have.
Ish. Just
not
like,
very much.
Yeah.
Usually you've kind of seen her be in the corner of Dakota more so.
Yeah,
than
exactly. So like I'm
wrestling
excited
herself.
because they both like very much like body built.
Yeah.
Like they're very like tall, big, strong. So I'm excited to see it. I love Rhea, so I'm just expecting it to be a very good match.
Yeah, but it made it the video package did make it feel like a very big deal.
Yeah, it did.
Then we go forward into Jessie Kamaya taking on Ember Moon. Jessie Kamaya, not someone I'd ever seen. Apparently she is I think it's a netball. She's an ex-netball person, that's what they said.
And
very
Ember
much.
Moon's back.
Yes, Ember Moon. Ember Moon is back. Her first singles match in forever.
Yeah. Over a year, they were saying.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Crazy.
Well, she had a return tag match last week.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
She had a singles. This is the first singles match this week. It's nice to have her back. She feels like a big deal. She feels like a really big deal. Yeah,
And she looks so good. She looks
great. She feels very different to everyone else on the roster as well.
Yes.
But like, and as much she's kind of adjusted her style quite a bit. As like in this match, there was a lot more submissions, a lot more kind of rolling stuff than what you'd expect from her. And she didn't go for the Eclipse. She didn't end up using it at all.
Yeah, no.
Winning with a submission, which is interesting to show a different side of her. And like the Eclipse is such a
fits
big,
her.
but the Eclipse is such a big move that perhaps it should be saved for those big moments because it's such a picture perfect move.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
It's beautiful.
But yeah, lots of submissions. So the finish comes. She hits a code breaker from the second rope, and then Paul gets Jessie all caught up and pulls on the hair, pulling her back, and she taps out. It's a really nice match. I quite liked Jessie as well. I thought she was quite good.
Yeah.
Not someone I've particularly seen because, like we said, we don't really watch NXT weekly. We will be doing now.
We will now.
But not someone I've particularly seen before. But I really liked her. I thought she was good, especially with the height that she has and stuff. I liked her. Post-match, Dakota Kai comes out and takes out Ember Moon and makes a point of not being happy with the fact that she's being used to put Ember in the spotlight. After the tag team match last week, Ember Moon pinned Dakota to pick up the victory.
Yeah.
Dakota and Ember, that'd be a good match.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, Dakota. It's a shame for Dakota to be losing, but Dakota has been in the main event a lot recently. So
yeah,
I like Dakota a lot. I really like Dakota.
Yeah, especially since her heel turn.
Yeah,
she's been doing so incredibly well.
I really like her. I don't really know where she goes after Ember Moon, but I really like her. But yeah, we'll see. We go backstage, the first of many backstage segments. We see Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish is on the floor. The rest of the boys, Roddy Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, help him up to his feet, but he can't put any weight on his leg. His knee troubles. His knee has been taken out. He's been taken out from behind by a mystery assailant. Ooh. We go back to the ring. We get the start of Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed. Austin Theory already in the ring. Bronson comes out for the match. We hear that Fish has been taken to the local medical centre and O'Reilly will be in the tag team match in the main event instead. But back to the match at hand, Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed. pretty good. It was a nice little match. There wasn't really anything special to it. Reed picks up the win with a big splash. I wouldn't want to take a big splash from Bronson Reed particularly. I haven't seen enough of Bronson Reed to make a judgment on him, to be honest.
From what I've seen so far, I like him.
Yeah, I like him. I don't necessarily like his visual. Personally, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily work for me all that well. I kind of would like a bit more character to him.
Yeah.
But it's NXT. There's
he's building up. He's growing.
Yeah, he'll grow into his character. He's been there for a while, but he'll grow into his character with more opportunities. Yeah. And they've only kind of recently started his big push. So he wins match big splash. Theory stops him from leaving. Tells him to stop because he is the future. Says he is 23 and he's done more than Reed has done in 15 years. Restarts the match and instantaneously Reed hits the Samoan drop for the win. That Samoan drop was brutal.
Yeah,
brutal Samoan drop. It was very short. Like, Theory's difficult. I think knowing what WWE is like, I would say that he probably does still have a lot of potential there in WWE.
Yeah.
Because they're not necessarily going to take too much judgment on any things that have been said about him in the past. Like, he's only 23. He has a lot of time ahead of him, but I will be honest that I'm not actively going to be supporting him because then I'm a hypocrite. If I'm actively supporting him, I can't, and I'm actively not supporting Dream. Yeah, I can't do both. So it's a hypocritical statement. So at the moment being, I'm not entirely keen on Austin Theory, but I do think in like 5-10 years time he will be a very big deal. Yeah, he does he does have the look. He does have it all. In time he can grow and you can learn from mistakes.
Exactly.
But you could say the same thing about Dream. So I'm not going to say any. I'm just that's my piece on it, and I will kind of leave it there, and we'll see in the future. But we go backstage after the other break. We have Xia and Casey backstage. Xia Li, really desperate to have a match here tonight, desperate to prove herself.
She has to win.
She has to win after being on a losing streak recently. And they were saying something about a letter that she received from Boa. I'm sure that will go somewhere soon, maybe giving her a little bit of a repackage, a bit of a change of character, because she clearly turned heel later in the night. But yeah, Casey says that she'll take the match as her friend and wishes her all the best luck. And Xia gets very intense with the fact that this is the biggest match for her career and she has to win. She has to do it. Then we see Theory and he quits. He's done. He drives off into the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been he's been in the losing streak since coming back to NXT. I don't know what this means for him. We'll see. He'll be back sooner rather than later. I imagine he'll come back in like 2 weeks and it'll be like the main event swerve will be that Austin Theory comes out and he costs Bronson Reed a match. And it'll be like, there's a masked man. It's Austin Theory. Oh no, he's back. He's cost Bronson Reed the match, and then he'll get beaten again for like a couple of months. Probably is what's going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So now we have the probably the best match of the night: Legado del Fantasma versus Jake Atlas, Isaiah Swerve Scott, and Ashanti Adonis. Start things off. Legado gets out of the ring straight away and surrounds the ring like a pack of dogs.
Yes.
And
it's funny.
Swerve goes straight over the ropes and gets straight in the face of Santos.
Does a handstand over the ropes to the corner of the mat and then comes off. It looked really cool. It was a really cool visual. And as I said, like on the very first podcast we did, I love flippy stuff. So
yeah. And these guys work really well together. I'd like to see perhaps because I think the NXT tag division is kind of lacking at the moment, and like. We'll talk about it more later in the main event, especially with like what happens there. The tag division's not necessarily in the best place, if I'm honest. But I think Swerve and Adonis could be a really good tag team. They work very well together. Yeah. Like just move because you could move Swerve because they're moving Swerve away from the title picture anyway. Because in this match, Atlas. So the finish of this match essentially is So they kind of say Atlas and I forgot about that spot. So there's one point where all of them are on the outside. Wild is running to do a dive to go and dive on top of all of them, the typical thing you'd see. But Atlas gets up on the ropes, grabs him while he's doing the dive, and then flips over into a Spanish fly. But Atlas doesn't entirely go all the way around. Like, it's not like injury prone. It's not an injury risk or anything. But he just makes it look a bit ugly because he ends up kind of sticking out. Yeah, it looks a bit clunky. But it was good. At least it was better than when Swerve completely missed on his dive. Swerve just went right through them all straight to the floor. I was like, oh, probably should have caught him.
Yeah,
oh well.
It's okay.
He landed on his back. It was okay. But yeah, so you have the Spanish fly spot. And then Santos Escobar gets in the ring and starts doing dives. And then Atlas, so he does a dive onto Swerve on the outside. Atlas does a cartwheel on the announce table.
Oh, yeah.
And then turns it into a DDT and takes down Santos. And according to commentary, we didn't hear him saying it, but according to commentary, he was saying to Santos that he's going to be the next cruiserweight champion. He's going to take that belt from him. But while Atlas is a bit busy getting it on with Santos on the outside, Adonis gets taken out by the finishing move from Wild and Mendoza, and Wild picks up the win.
Yeah.
It was a really good match. Lots of fun stuff in that match. Lots of high-flying, entertaining
it was really
stuff.
entertaining.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good stuff, and it's nice to have the Cruiserweight division mean something.
Yes.
Like, these guys have really helped to build it up, and that makes me happy.
So I remember when we saw the show live, like when they came over to the UK.
Yeah.
And they do like the post. Was it post or was it before the show? That the 205 Live came up. And they did like
It was after the show.
It was after.
Because then they had the main event after that.
Exactly.
I don't remember what the main event was. But
yeah, but it was just like, I remember seeing it live and it's just absolutely incredible.
It was really impressive.
It's just so impressive
just
seeing it like...
No one gave a damn.
Yeah. But it's really nice to finally have them like on TV and be like, look, they are good.
Yeah, NXT really suits it. It really suits having the Cruiserweight division there. It's going to be interesting because they did a thing because obviously before Jordan Devlin was the Cruiserweight champion and then he ended up being stuck in Ireland or the UK or wherever he lives. But Devlin has come back after his accusations and they had him on NXT UK last week, I believe. And they had a promo from him with the Cruiserweight championship, kind of promo about the fact that he is still the champion.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're going to be doing that at some point, which would be nice.
Yeah.
Santos and Devlin could be a good match. Yeah. It's all very awkward. Everyone's kind of a bit of a mess at the moment.
Right now,
so it's a bit awkward. But yeah, when we eventually get to that point, I guess that'll be a nice match. It's not going to be for a long time, but whenever it happens, I guess that'll be nice. He's going to just have that title with him, unless they're just going to have a Cruiserweight division in NXT and then have another Cruiserweight division in NXT UK.
Yeah, exactly.
Just for the moment being. Weird stuff. But yeah, so Gargano's at home. This was great. This was funny.
It's so funny.
This was very funny. Johnny Gargano hates wheels. He hates
wheels.
I hate wheels. I hate wheels. But so they have
just so upset.
Yes, they're sitting at the dining table. They've got a little small version of the wheel for next week for Halloween Havoc. And they have all the matches. Wheel. Yes. And Candice describes it as a training wheel. So Johnny rolls it first. He's not happy about it, but he rolls it. And he gets a buried alive match. And Johnny just absolutely freaks out with being not wanting to be buried alive, being under the ground.
I told you that like the wheels are against me.
Candice rolls it, gets a trickle street fight, and she's like, I'm undefeated in street fights. Yeah, I'm going to beat EO. Yeah. But Gargano's like, but I'm going to be buried alive.
Yeah, you're going to have the title, but I'll be buried alive.
Gargano,
6 feet under.
6 feet under the ground below. And then Gargano rolls it again because he doesn't want to be buried alive.
Yeah.
And guess what? He gets a casket match.
He's so upset.
He gets so upset and freaks out. The wheel wants him dead. And he gets all upset and does a little super kick next to it. Like he's going to go for it.
He's trying to kick the wheel and stuff, but he's like, he can't make himself do it at the same time. And he's like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, he storms off. It's very funny.
I'm going to sleep.
It's very funny. I like that. And then we had Everrise were in the ring to take on Maverick and Dane. Maverick and Dane come out. Dane is not happy with the music still. Tells the music to stop. Maverick's quite upset about this.
Yes, this is the first time I've seen this tag team in action. So Aiden told me the story of how they got together and how, like, what's their gimmick and stuff. Yeah. I loved it from moment one they came out and Maverick's dancing to the funky music and
so the whistle tune.
The whistly tune. And Dane is like, stop the music, no. But like Maverick keeps dancing. It's so funny.
It's really good. Their act is really good.
They have really good like relationship. Like they have good chemistry.
They bounce off each other very well. So we get into the match. Everrise, they are super shouty.
Yes.
They do not shut up, those guys. They're very loud. They kind of just wreck Drake Maverick for quite a while. Do a lot of damage to him, just keep on working on him until they do the backdrops, they're going for a backdrop, and Maverick manages to get the tag to Dane. Dane comes in, goes wild on him, but they keep going for his leg. Whenever he tries to go for a big move, they hit his legs, and they keep going for it, and then one of them locks in a submission on the leg on Dane, while the other one is on the outside with Maverick, taunting Maverick, saying your friend is gonna have his leg broken, essentially.
And being like, oh, your friend is nothing, like Dane is nothing, he is worthless, just like you are and everything, and just Drake starts getting
Maverick
very upset.
He gets very upset, becomes very, very upset, manages to push him away, gets a steel chair, takes him out, gets in the ring, takes out the other guy. Ding, ding, ding. DQ. He feels very happy with himself. He's really pumped up, throws the chair, and then they make the announcement that Everrise won by DQ. Drake's face drops. He is a very sad boy. He was so upset. And he's a very scared boy that he's going to get attacked by Dane. Dane goes up to him, walks over.
Dane looks very upset.
And then he just goes completely the happiest person, the happiest little
looking
giant.
Angry.
But still angry and still hitting him. But he was a very happy boy. It was awesome. The best thing he's ever seen.
It's the best thing I've ever seen. And just like punching him and throwing and like Maverick still looking very scared, but being like, okay, is he accepting me? Is he not? Like, what's happening?
And then the music plays. Dane goes to stop it, but he accepts the music.
Yay!
Drake starts to do his little dance.
And like, it's like Killian Dane kind of like stops for a second thinking if he wants to or not, but then he doesn't.
And then he walks off.
But still, I
it's
just
a lot of fun. They're very good together.
I love it, and I'm so happy that they're using Dane, like, for that kind of thing. Because, like, seeing him sometimes, like, live streaming and stuff when, for example, Drew McIntyre won the championship and everything, they were live streaming on YouTube and everything. And it's just, like, you can tell that he's a very funny person and, like, all the things that he does with Nikki Cross and everything. So it's nice to see him on that kind of face.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no, it's good. It's good stuff to see. We go backstage, and, again, another member of the Undisputed Era has been attacked this time. It is Roddy Strong. He is down. He is in a doorway. He's been attacked. He has been passed out. And then we come back from the break, and Regal is backstage. Not sure what to do because he's told he's advertised a title match for tonight. There has to be a tag title match. And Kyle O'Reilly's there like, look, you two, we beat you for the way they beat you for this match or whatever. You two have it. Lawkin and Butch, you have this shot on. But Lawkin and Butch will be like, oh, really? Oh, well, it's your match. You won. Why don't one of us team up with you? And he's like, no.
But
storms off to go and check on Roddy and Fish and make sure that everyone's okay. And to go and protect himself, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to be taken out. Brizango goes face-to-face with Lawkin and Butch, and it's set up for the main event that we are now going to have Brizango versus Lawkin and Butch for our main event. We go back to the ring. We see we get Xia Li versus Casey, as teased earlier in the night. Xia
Li has a really cool entrance, by the way.
Yeah, she does have a cool entrance.
Really cool.
There's a cool little gimmick that she has. She's very desperate to win. They came across in the match. She kept going for pinfall after pinfall after pinfall, just desperate to get a win out of nowhere. Casey doing some nice athletic stuff.
Yeah.
Really like Casey.
Yes.
She just needs more in ring time, really.
Yeah.
Because her punches were bad.
Yes.
Her punches were really weak. But apart from that, I thought it was really good. Casey manages to get the roll up on Xia. Xia Li snaps and takes out Casey and takes out Kazan as well when she comes in the ring. But then all of this gets completely derailed when Raquel Gonzalez comes in and just takes them all out instead and tells Rhea Ripley that this is what awaits her and she will be the devil of her nightmares.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yep. It's nice to see the Xia Li and Casey stuff, and I'm sure that's going to move forwards in whatever way, whatever's going on with the letter that Xia Li received from Bao, yeah. And again, like we said earlier, Raquel versus Rhea is going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I can't wait.
And then another match that I'm very excited for next week.
I forgot about this.
He's going to the moon. I'm going to the moon. Cameron Grimes is being interviewed by Mackenzie, and they're talking about the match he's having next week, and he's like, I've beaten Dexter Lumis before. I can do it again. I can do it again. And then she's like, that was
an all right accent.
Thank you. And then she's like, but you do realise it's a Haunted House of Terrors match. And he's like, a what? A Haunted House of Terrors.
You sure didn't say it wrong? Like
he has a very thick accent.
You sure he didn't say like something like Haunted House of Terror? He's just like so scared suddenly.
Dreadfully scared, and you see Dexter just staring through the window in the door behind.
It's just like Grimes doesn't see him at all, but it's so funny because like Grimes keeps being very scared even without noticing that he was behind there.
Grimes pretending he's not afraid when he's dreadfully afraid, but he's still going to the moon. I'm going to the moon. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun next week. He's gonna get killed, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Get a promo from Io Shirai. Basically, it was very well produced. There wasn't anything to it though. It was just essentially she just listed a bunch of stipulations and went, I'll beat Candice. I'll beat Candice. I'll beat Candice. I'll beat Candice. That was kind of it.
Yeah.
Then we did the Thatcher's Thatch Can segment. Thatcher putting in submissions, showing him off as he does. The guy he was with got upset because he held in the submission for far too long.
And he kept tapping and he just...
and he wouldn't let go of it. So the kid tries to take advantage of Thatcher trying to do some stuff to him, but Thatcher just still brutalizes him. Yeah. Turns into a match and just kills him. It's fine. It's fine stuff. It's just not really... I don't mind. It's nice, like, character building stuff for Thatcher, but it's been going on for quite a while, him doing this kind of stuff. It'd be nice to see him in doing something. Like, I understand, like, this stuff is still there to keep him in people's minds, keep him relevant.
Yeah,
but
which is a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. But I just
He's
think
probably now ready to do something.
Yeah, he should probably be doing something. I don't know what. I have no idea what, but he does like it
because obviously it was the first time I saw this segment from him. Yeah. I found it really like interesting seeing like all the technicality of like all of the submissions and everything. Yeah. So it's really interesting to see. But then I don't know. He just needs to get a new like annoying thing with like someone or something or yeah.
I'm just looking to see if he actually has a wrestling school because he'd be a very good teacher. I assume he must though. He must
because the way he's like obviously it's all scripted and stuff or like they have the basic script. But still, like...
No, I don't think he does, which is surprising.
Let us know if he does.
He'll be a good trainer in the future, I think. I think that'd be a good place for him to be.
Let us know in comments and everything if you know, if he has a school or something.
Yeah, I don't think he does, but I think he'll do very well. I think that would be a good place for him in the future because I don't see him being a main roster guy. I don't see him necessarily doing too much in NXT apart from having good matches.
Good, like side job.
I think
still related to.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be a good place for him to be in the future. Yeah. A good like job for him to be doing, working in the performance center, teaching would be good. But anyway, he's still got a lot of career ahead of him, so I shouldn't necessarily be talking about his future like that. We get a promo from Damian Priest talking about the Gargano match next week.
I am so excited.
It's going to be fun. It is going to be a buried alive or a casket match, probably.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued for next week. It's going to be interesting because I'm pretty sure. So this is probably going to be a a casket or buried alive, just because they kind of teased that now.
Yeah.
And I feel
the
like,
wheel keeps getting against. It's
going to be something that's going to terrify Johnny Gargano essentially. But I think this one, because on the wheel there's one of the stipulation choices, Shotzi's choice.
Oh.
Where Shotzi gets to choose whatever stipulation she wants for it instead.
Okay.
And because that's going to have to be picked. That's
probably going to happen.
And I imagine that'll be picked for the women's match.
Yeah.
And that'll make a big difference in that match, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be a street fight. That's
like something that you can do any time of the year.
It's not just going to be a trick or street fight. That's going to be it'll be so silly fun because you get all the pumpkins and stuff and nonsense. But still. He talks about Gargano can't move on because of the fact that Gargano isn't the same person he was before. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, that's not entirely fair of me to say. He says that Gargano doesn't understand why he's not as successful as the person he was before. But Priest is saying that Gargano still is the same person he was before. It's just the Priest is here now, and Priest is so much better than Gargano. Priest says that he can take the pain because he can take tattoos. He has lots of tattoos. He's getting a tattoo done right now.
He's getting a tattoo whilst he does the promo and he's not screaming like a child.
He can take the pain. Can you? Yeah. Then we get to our main event, Brizango versus Butch and Walken. So before we get into this match, the worst thing about NXT that we hate beyond belief is the smashing on the flipping windows.
Oh, yes. I forgot to mention that right at the first match. It happens every single match, and it's just so annoying, like the protective shields.
Yeah.
It's just so distracting. Like, they can cheer, they can clap and everything, but just don't keep,
Stop smashing them. And they pipe it in. Because during the Thatcher's Thatch Can segment, they were piping. Because you could see
commentators and stuff when they're talking. The commentators and people behind them are tapping on the glass.
But you could tell during the Thatcher's Thatch Can segment, because you can see all the people that are there, all the actual crowd, the people who were not NXT people, who are there watching. And you could hear the sound of people smashing against the thing and chanting for this random dude who I didn't have a clue who he was. Apologies to that guy. They didn't say his name. I couldn't hear it at least.
Yeah.
And they were chanting for that guy and doing and smashing against the thing, making the noise for it. But you could see none of them were doing that.
Yeah.
So it just kind of
it's just annoying. It's I love it when the wrestlers and everything throw each other against them and everything. It's a nice visual effect and everything. But the audience, just stop doing it every 5 seconds or something.
Yeah, it's irritating.
It's really annoying and distracting.
Yeah, on to the main event match: Brizango versus Bertrand Lawkin. Pretty standard stuff from what you'd expect from these guys, to be honest. It was good. It was very slow to start off with, quite slow to get going. Built up for the second half of the match, got a bit quicker. Dango hits his big top rope leg drop onto Butch, but Butch kicks out. It keeps on going. They're about to win. Dango and Brie are about to pick up the victory, but a master man appears and he pushes Dango off the top rope with his little metal mask and hides himself back onto the ring. It's a really cool
mask. I have no idea how you could see through that, but I loved it.
Yeah. And then
distracts the referee.
Breeze gets very upset and the ring is very confused as to what just happened because obviously Dango's been taken out. They distract the referee and then Butch hits a low blow onto Breeze and finishes off with the Tower of London to take him out. And 1, 2, 3, we have new tag team champions in Danny Burch and Oni Lawkin.
Yeah.
Which is good. They've been there for a very long time. They've never been the champions. They deserve to be champions.
They were very happy.
Yeah, they're very happy.
You could see that they were genuinely happy.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's nice that they've been put into a big storyline position. And we've had them versus UE before, and it was really good. So I'm happy. I'm fine with that going again, properly. In doing the takeover quality match they had back in 2018 or whatever. It was a really good match. So we can do that kind of stuff again. So my issue with the tag division, like the tag division, kind of been dead for a while now, in my opinion. Like we went from, like, and I think the coronavirus had a big issue on it all, but like they haven't been defended really on takeovers in a long time.
Yeah.
To be honest, they've kind of been pushed down onto just regular NXT. Like we had Riddle and Dunn hold them for a while. Riddle and Dunn held them.
Yeah.
So last time they kind of felt like something. They lost them to Imperium, I think. I think they lost them to Imperium.
Yes.
Imperium held them for a little bit, but didn't do anything with them. And then Brizango won them out of nowhere, and then Brizango have lost them without... I don't even think they've had a defense. They might have had like one defense, but I don't think they've had... But they've had like barely any. And now we have Walken and Lurch. Lawkin and Butch holding them. It feels all kind of a bit rushed and hot-shotted without much of a plan behind it, but maybe this is going to be what it needs. Maybe this is going to be the restyle the tag division needs to kind of get pushed back up there. But I feel like they need some kind of change in that division. It's the only thing that's kind of taken a back step. It's like the women's division is so good in NXT that the tag division is kind of the thing that has to take a back step, especially since like the cruiserweight division is such a big deal.
AEW.
It kind of is the opposite of AEW.
It's exactly the opposite of AEW, because AEW has such a great tag team division, and then women's just really weak.
But yeah, so post-match, the mystery man comes out, hugs them loads. He hugs them a lot of times.
He was so happy.
He gets carried away, and then he takes off his hood and his mask, and it's Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee is back. And Pat McAfee is still on his vendetta with the Undisputed Era.
Yes.
Yeah, it should have been obvious that it was Pat.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah. But it's a shame for Ridge Holland. Obviously, this was supposed to be his position. Well, obviously, he would have been paid by Pat still, but it should have been his position. You have to wonder whether Lawkin and Butch, whether this was still the plan, or whether this was a slight change as to what's going on. I feel like it probably was the plan. I feel like it was probably originally supposed to be a 4-man faction.
Maybe.
It's probably supposed to be Pat McAfee, Ridge Holland, and then Lawkin and Butch. Be quite a fun little team. It's a shame it didn't work out that way, but Pat McAfee is back, and I assume we're going to see a big Undisputed Era versus Pat McAfee's boys match at some point at the next takeover.
Yeah.
Maybe War Games if they can find a space to do it in. Obviously, they can't really do it in where they are right now, but if they have a space to do War Games in,
that'd be nice.
It would work. It's two teams of 4, so it would work. But yeah, that is all for NXT this week. Thank you very much for watching / listening. Leave us a review, subscribe, comment, like, whatever. Do all the things. Would be greatly appreciated. And we will see you on Friday, tomorrow, for SmackDown. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.